Hello and welcome in 7 Days to Die Darkness Falls. This is another short guide I am making for the Darkness Falls. I noticed since the Alpha 20 is up, there are still some things which are a bit confusing, especially confusing for me. So if you are starting with this mod, you might find it useful. I will try to explain, in this episode I will try to explain the books and schematics, how it works. I had to redo this video a couple of times because it's a lot of stuff and it's directly connected to the skills as well. I didn't want to touch the skills because otherwise this video will be like an hour long when I will go through all the skills and everything. First things first, I will go from the books because there's less of them and explain how they work and what I usually do with those books, and then we're gonna go through the schematics and how to unlock them, how to unlock the particular items and what to do with the schematics and which one are actually worth to keep it, and in which scenarios you want to keep schematics and which scenarios you want to use skills. So let's start with the books. Those are all the books you can find in game. You cannot find the last row, I will explain them in a second, but the first two rows, those books you can find anywhere, and in vanilla they used to unlock the special abilities for the particular skills. In Darkness Falls they don't. Let's go row by row. I mean, the first two rows, the rifle nodes, athletics, mining tools, scavenging, shotgun, pistol, bladed weapon, blunt weapon and automatic weapon nodes. Those are the books which gives you the action points. Let's take the athletic for example. When you go to skills and when you go to the action skills, the action skills are grouped by those action skills. So we have the archery action skills, we have the athletics, we have the automatic action skills. Should be automatic weapons, but we have the blades, mining tools and so on. And what those books does is they give you a couple of points in particular action skill. Those skills below are dependent of the action skills. So health nut, for example, if you want to unlock the level 2 of the health nut, you have to have particular amount of action skills. And those books basically give you a couple of action skills. So I have 5 of athletics. I'm gonna read these books right now. There you go. And I have 7. So it gave me 2 points. I don't find it useful. I usually scrap all those books unless I need like 1 or 2 points and I know I need this point and I keep the book for some reason, but most of the times I scrap them. The second group are those 6 books. We have here Reloading Weekly, Vehicles, Generic Skill Notes, which is a little bit different actually, Farming Tips, Butchering Tools and Crafting from the Masters. There is one more book I forgot to mention, is Safe Cracking for Dump Shits. It gives you the point in lockpicking. Post Eddie to the rescue, you know. Those 5 books, they give you point, like the skill point in particular skill. Reloading Weekly is basically making ammo. When we go here and when we go to perks and type Reloading Weekly, those are the books. You can spend the points here, but it's more worth to actually spend a book, read the book for this. And each book gives you 1 level, so if there is multiple levels, like for example Reloading Weekly, you can read another 3 books and it will unlock everything. Of course it has its own requirements to reach, for example Reloading Weekly. If you would like to have it, you need to have the gun crafting, and gun crafting doesn't have a book, so you have to actually spend points here to have the gun crafting. But reading these books will actually give you those points. Really simple. What I use, Reloading Weekly, definitely very useful, making ammo. Vehicles, in Alpha 20 you can actually make the mini bike, motorcycle and 4x4 by those books. There are 3 levels. Let me actually show this. Vehicles for dump shits. Here You have mini bike, motorcycle, and 4x4. And where is the bicycle? Well, you can make the bicycle from the day one. We will talk about this. There are a few items that are already unlocked for you. One of them is a bicycle. If you find the working workbench, somewhere, you can actually craft yourself the bicycle day one and have it, which is great. But it's useful for the mini bike and motorcycle. Farming tips, it's for the seeds, basically. The perk, hold on, they give you particular seeds, and so you can actually mortar and paste seeds. So we are not planning to have the farmer class, but you want to have a couple of items, basic items unlocked, so it will help you. Those books are useful. The only thing to bear in mind is that if you use the points here, and you will have those 3 levels, and you take the class, you will lose those points. So we are planning to taking the farmer class. It's better to scrap the books because it's 9 skill points, skill nodes, than actually read it and after lose those points, those 3 points. Butchering tools, it's for the knife, machete, all this kind of bladed weapons. I don't use it. If you use it, great. Read the book and you will be able to make it. For example, knife, which is also under the hunter class, but that's a different story. So it's useful. I always scrap this. As well. Crafting from the masters is awesome. It's a kind of new book. We have the quicker crafting. So crafting from the masters will give you the point here. And I didn't find this book yet. Apparently it's quite rare, but it actually increases the perk by 1, so you need 3 books for this, or you can spend the skill points as well, of course. But yeah, this is I would definitely keep it because yeah, as I said, apparently it's a rare book, so I wouldn't scrap it unless you really need the skill nodes to open another class or the master class, for example. Yeah. And the last one is the generic skill nodes. This book you can craft, you can find it as well, but it's pretty rare, as it says, and it gives you 1 skill point. When you read it, it will just automatically give you 1 skill point. No big deal. Very useful because it's basically a free level. Yeah. And now we have the last row. Those books. Let me just drop those back because they are not important anymore, and organize this a little bit because it should be in a different order. Yeah. Okay. Skill nodes you get when you scrap any schematic or any book. When you have the 120 of the skill nodes, you can make yourself blank class paper. This book. The blank class paper from the blank class paper, and you have one at the beginning as well, so it's pretty easy to understand because you have one from the day one. You can make the classes. Yeah, the class books are the books which open the classes and you do the quests for them. You know the drill. After you have the master class books unlock the masters, the master farmer, for example, or the master hunter. Basically, this book unlocked this particular perk. This perk gives you something. Each master gives you something. Each master is very powerful skill, and you should aim to do it as soon as possible. Those are those books. You can get this the master skill point in a different way as well, not just by the books. If you do a lot of missions for the trader, it will give you the possibility to buy the mastery. It was in Alpha 19 like that. I'm not sure if it's in Alpha 20 as well, but I presume they left it. They left this functionality, which is cool, but they are really expensive. It is really expensive. And the last one is Future is Now. The Future is Now is a book you can craft, and it unlocked the technology skill, the technology tree, this tree. And when you unlock it, you will be able to put the points here, not like normal skills. You actually need the demonic essence or nanites. There are actually few skills, very useful skills here. The Future is Now is needed for this. Easy? Easy. Good. Out. Now, each class will unlock some of the skills, of course, and open some of the skill nodes. And they are actually three of the classes which gives the most schematics. One is farmer, of course, also because living of the land, and a sous chef, which is quite a lot of schematics as well. Schematics, I'm saying schematics, but you know, the skills. Schematics as a paper, so if you take this class, most of the books will be open after you reach the certain levels of this class. An interesting part about those schematics is if you have, let's say, farmer class, and you have, that's night time. If you have, let's say, just 1 point in sous chef, but you find the schematic for the hobo stew, you can read this schematic, it will become open, and you will be able to make the hobo stew. So if you find the schematic for the hobo stew and you unlock it, this book will become open. Obviously, it won't give you all of the skills from the particular level, but you will be able to have this recipe. If you don't have the farmer class, you won't be able to make it, which sucks. So reading the schematic from the class you don't have is kind of pointless because you will not be able to make it anyway. Now, the classes which unlocks the most of the schematics is the farmer, is a laborer, which is hammer and forge and advanced engineering, and it is mechanic, which gives you actually the mini bike, the motorcycle. It also, in Alpha 20, it also has different cars as well. However, it allows you to open some of the recipes. Yeah. Now, there are 4 unique schematics in this game. Those are those 4 schematics. We have Sham's secret recipe, we can find it we know where. We have the herbal antibiotics. We have the steel knuckles and the iron knuckles. Don't ask me why the knuckles are unique, but they are unique. You cannot craft those items by using the skill point to particular skill. You have to actually find the schematic for it. Okay, easy. Now, the perk schematics, so the schematics that are not used for the classes, so they are not used in here. They are also the particular schematics for the perk skills, for the perks. And those are the most confusing, to be honest, because there are few different levels. First of all, we have the science crafting. Science crafting basically mods. It allows you to craft the mods, the tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 mods. Yeah, we have tier 1 here, tier 2 and tier 3. Okay. It's very hard to find those schematics. I don't know if they even exist in Darkness Falls. I spawned them from the creative menu, but they are in game. The schematics are in game, and it's actually quite useful. The science crafting is actually quite useful. So this is one of the skills which will unlock a lot of schematics for you. There are also schematics. Let me quickly find it. There are also schematics which allows you to unlock the particular weapons. And this was the confusing part for me for a long time. When you would like to unlock the particular weapon, let's say the pistol, for example, this chicken just scared the shit out of me. When you would like to unlock the pistol, and we go here and we type pistol, obviously I don't have it yet. Yeah. It says that I can unlock it by pistol crafting or pistol. Now, when we go to pistol in here, there will be a pistol crafting, okay? And actually the pistol doesn't have any requirements. However, the different weapons here, they have the different requirements. Let's check AR-15. Or I just have it. Okay, you see the gun crafting too. Unfortunately, I have the gun crafting too. So if I read the book will become open. But if I will not have the points in gun crafting, and I will not have the gun crafting 2, and I read the AR-15, the book will stay closed. The reason for this is that it will open, the book will only open if you are able to make the particular weapon. It's not that you read the schematic, it will tell you if you are able to make this weapon or not. And most of these weapons are locked behind the... where are those schematics? Perk schematics. They are locked behind the gun crafting, armor crafting, weapon crafting, this kind of stuff. Now those particular schematics, some of them I didn't even find yet. Like AR-15 schematic I didn't find in my life. And this one is tactical assault rifle schematic, which I believe unlock the same item. So there's a little bit tidy up to be needed in the schematics, to be honest, because for example the Winchester rifle schematic, which let's actually take both of those. Winchester. I can make it, yeah? I read the schematic and I can make it. The book is closed for some reason. By the way, I didn't find the schematic for the Winchester. It might not be in game at all. However, let's check AK. AK, I can make it. The book is open. This is the most confusing part for me, because it looks like there are some ground rules about when the schematic will be open, when it will be closed. For example, this bow schematic, let's have a look on the bow schematic, and actually this one is not important. The bow schematic, it gives you the bow perk, okay? And we have a bow perk. Yes, I have 2 levels of it. I have the weapon crafting, so perfect. But the book is closed. No idea why. I mean, I know why, because it hasn't been tidy up, and it doesn't allow to open this book at all. It doesn't matter if you have the skills or not. About the weapons you can make, so the book is open. It was closed a second ago, but right now it's open, so great, yes. But some of those schematics, especially schematics that have the multiple levels, like the steel armor schematics, there are 3 levels of it, or scrap armor schematics. If they have the multiple level, they will always be closed. There will not be a way to open them, because I think the game understands that there are multiple levels, so you might not have all of the levels. So even if you have 1 level, then no. If there is 1 point, like P225 for example, or pistol schematic, let me just take the pistol and prove the point. I'm gonna grab myself another pistol schematic. No, pistol schematic. Yes, so I have 2 the same schematics. I take 1. I read it, the book is open, and I can make it pistol. I can craft it, I have the point in the crafting, I met the requirements, gun crafting 1, and I can make a pistol. There you go. So if there is just 1 level of the item, then the book will become open. If there is more than 1 level, if there is multiple levels, like bow schematics for example, then the book will never be open. You will have to remember if you have it or not, or check it every single time. So yeah, definitely keep those schematics, and especially for the weapons, for the particular weapons, if you would like to use them, because it's saving the points. Steel armor definitely as well. I mean, I use the steel armor, but whatever armor you use. The scrap armor, that's the wrong weapon. For the scrap armor, you don't really use the schematics, because by the time you reach those schematics, you either will be able to make it, either will have the better armor. But of course, it it's completely up to you. There is one last group I wanted to talk about, and those are the everything else. Those schematics will be open from the day 1. Those schematics you see on the screen right now. Which is actually a great addition, because this becomes your vanilla, okay? And it's actually a great addition, because if you play the Darkness Falls for the first time, Darkness Falls mod for the first time, we'll give you a couple of hints how to path how your character, especially at the beginning, to don't have such a big problems with food and stuff. As you can see from those schematics, there are few schematics that are particularly useful. It's grill meat, of course. The baked potato schematic, the baked potato skill is awesome. The recipe, sorry, is awesome because you can make the baked potatoes and you can find the baked potatoes in the wild. You can make the seeds from baked potatoes, so from the day one you can actually set up yourself a farm. You will need the point in the farming tips because you will need the hoe as well, but yeah, it's doable if you have the farming tips. And this recipe is unlocked. Also, bacon and eggs is unlocked, so you can do it from the day one, which is great. Also, the baseball bat is unlocked from the day one. Baseball bat, iron spear, and steel spear. All three of those weapons are unlocked from the day one. And steel spear, you can make the steel spear from the day one if you find steel, and of course workbench, which is great. And of course bicycle. So you don't have to wait with the bicycle to reach the mechanic class or few levels and so on. You just grab the wheels, just find a couple of wheels and spend 1 point to the workbench. Because I will show you. You have workbenches here, yeah? So you can spend 1 point to the tool crafting, 1 point here, and you can craft the workbench. So by the day 2, you can craft the workbench and you can have the bicycle. So yeah, it gives you a little bit of advantage in starting out with this mod because it's unforgiving. This mod is unforgiving. Okay, those are all the books and schematics in game. I'm not going to go through every single class which class is unlocking what schematics. You can check it yourself and you can check which items. There is one last thing I want to mention is the sous chef. There are two schematics, the vegetable soup schematic and the cheese schematic. Both of those items you are able to unlock on level 2. But they will not become open. Those schematics, I think those schematics are broken as well, because as you can see I can make the cheese, but cheese as a book is still closed. So those two items, if you have a farmer class and you spend the 2 points in the sous chef, 2 points here, so rice pudding, cheese recipes, it even says that it's cheese recipes. It doesn't say anything about the vegetable soup, but it's on the same level. This is vegetable soup, yeah? Both of those items are unlocked on the level 2, but the books they stay closed. I don't know if those schematics are eventually not used in the game and you can just spawn them from the creative menu, but bear in mind that some of the schematics might be a little bit misleading. I didn't find any other schematic, apart of maybe Winchester schematic as well, which behaves like that. But yeah, some of the schematics they will be closed. The book will be closed even though you are able to make it, which sucks. Well, maybe it will be fixed at some point. Alright, thank you very much for watching this. If you are interested in this mod and you would like to know more, have a look on my channel because I have few of the guides for it and tips and tricks and so on. I also have a playthrough right now for the Darkness Falls Alpha 20, which is around 30 days now. It's pretty interesting. So if you are interested about this kind of topics, have a look. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.